It's been a few weeks, I know, but we're finally back for another episode of Hero Review, and today we got a good one for you folks, the spiciest of salads. We got Megamind from the 2010 film, Megamind. Thank you so much, honestly, for suggesting Megamind, and make sure you go down below and let me know who I should review next. How good of a hero is Megamind? Let's find out.
Ready the death ray, minion.
Death ray readying.
So to start things off, Megamind's origin is one that you've probably heard before. Planet is exploding, parents launch kid into space to save him, Hans Zimmer, he's there doing something. Getting sent to Earth, Megamind unfortunately didn't get a Clark Kent type supportive dad, he actually got sent to prison. So yeah, that sucks. Being raised by inmates and being taught bad things were good and vice versa, Megamind never really had a normal view of morality. Growing up, Megamind would go on to become the city's greatest villain and would often face off against its greatest hero, Metro Man. With Metro Man being Brad Pitt's Superman, he always wins, like every single time, because he's Brad Pitt's Superman, guys. Except for when he doesn't, and Megamind actually defeats him. With Metro Man out of the picture, Megamind starts to think he's an Akon song, as he really has nobody for him to go up against. Having no meaning in life outside of being a comical villain, Megamind decides to make a new hero in the form of Titan for him to go up against. But Titan doesn't want to be a superhero, he wants to be evil. From there, it's up to Megamind to become a hero and save the city. Straight up, this origin is awesome, and I like almost everything about it. I like that Megamind has always seen himself as a villain, but he doesn't think about being a villain the same way most people do. I doubt he would compare himself to all the other famous villains in the world, and instead he sees it as more of a societal role. In reality, I think he was always a good dude and only did those bad things like kidnap Roxanne because that's what he always thought he had to do. The whole thing of not having much purpose outside of fighting Metro Man is interesting, and it says a lot about his personality and identity. Everything makes sense and it's clear, and the motive and origin work in tandem perfectly with each other. Great origin.
No, I never had the chance to say goodbye. So it's good that we have this time now.
So when it comes to actors in Hollywood, I've heard a lot of people say that Will Ferrell plays the same character in everything. That being said, I think this is a perfect example against that argument, and honestly, it's one of my favorite of his performances. Will Ferrell is usually just a goofy guy who is kind of immature, but in this movie, he's not really like that. Don't get me wrong, guys. Megamind is goofy for sure, but he's not trying to be. He actually takes himself pretty seriously. When you mix that with a theatrical way Megamind acts, it makes for a really entertaining character. In general, all the characters in this movie are pretty good, and with Megamind being the title character, I can honestly say he's the best. All the interactions he has with all the other characters are always fantastic. His naturally silly sense of humor is also really good, and I give the film a lot of credit for having solid writing when it comes to the humor and plot. As fun as he is, there's also a real human side to him though, and it's also interesting to see. The idea of being trapped in what you do and wanting to break out from that, it's something we've all experienced, and we really see that in Megamind's relationship with Roxanne. It's these moments between the two where we get to see more of a human side to Megamind, one where he doesn't have to be a villain like everyone sees him to be. That being said, there's also a bit of a sad undertone here, as we know that this Bernard disguise, it's not gonna last forever. No good things do. It's nice to have these more calm and relatable moments, so luckily he also has some really funny scenes with everyone else. He's a hero who I love to see on screen, and when your main character is also your best, it is a great position to be in for a film.
Not today. What can I say? Old habits die hard.
So like I said, there are some really good scenes for all sides of Megamind, and I really like the growth he has in the movie. I like how at first he's invested in Titan for a kind of a selfish reason, but as his relationship grows with Roxanne, he has to grow up and stop Titan for very selfless reasons. It's the main dynamic for Megamind that I really enjoy, and he does it without compromising the film's humor. All of this leads to a fantastic scene where Megamind actually comes back to save the day, and it's one of the best scenes in the movie. In this scene, along with many others, we see just how smart Megamind is, and it might sound obvious, I know, but I always like when films do this. I just like seeing smart characters like in their bag. The really good thing though about Megamind being smart is that it's not who he is as a person, just one part of his very colorful personality. That being said, this movie is absolutely hilarious, and I just gotta say some scenes I really enjoy. When he kills, quote-unquote, Metro Man, when him and Minion are training Titan, come on, people. When Roxanne finds out he's Megamind, guys, that's a good one. And of course, the whole entire ending. The ending in particular is satisfying because we see Megamind reach his true potential and become the person I'm sure his parents wanted him to be. The whole thing with the dehydration gun is set up perfectly throughout the movie, and it just shows again that Megamind is a really smart character. Because in this situation, I know for sure, I'm just going splat. Definitely would not have thought of this. Megamind, you're smarter than me. Your head's also bluer and bigger than mine.
I made you a hero. You did the fool thing all by yourself.
So if you couldn't tell by now, I really like Megamind, the character, the movie, the whole shebang. And as far as how good of a hero he is, I like that too. It's funny because even though we're introduced to Megamind as a villain, it's instantly clear that he's the protagonist and he's instantly likable. The whole idea of a villain turning into a hero as he learns more about what it means, it's a classic arc. So good in fact that it was used by everyone and their grandmas in 2010. Megamind stands out to me though because of how strong the writing is and the transition from villain to hero, it just feels very natural and organic. He's such a good counter to the film's villain Titan, and they play off each other really well. Titan is forced into the societal role of hero and eventually rejects it to become a villain, where Megamind is kind of the opposite. Both characters serve as a great commentary of what it means to be good and bad and fighting back against the societal roles we're given. Really cool.
There's a benefit to losing. You get to learn from your mistakes.
Megamind has a fantastic origin, and it plays off that classic Superman one really well, and it's pretty funny. As a character, Megamind is the best in the film, and his humor mixed with the character arc makes for just a very compelling protagonist. There are also a ton of great scenes from Megamind that I really enjoy, and he does a lot of heroic things throughout the film that really solidify him as a quality hero. I'm gonna give Megamind a 9.
Woo! It's just you, Bernard.
Oh yes, it's just me, Bernard.
Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss any of my hero and villain reviews. Let me know what you think of Megamind down below and who I should review next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.